Yo, what up, Vegabomber Landians? It's your boy Vegabomber here, and well, this is the next video. And for this video, I figured no more looking back. We already looked at the best movies of 2018. We looked at the worst movies of 2018. So now, why don't I just look at the future? And the future is all about the movies that are coming out in 2019. And so, I smell a list coming on. Oh, you know it. The top 10 movies that I'm anticipating for 2019. In 2019, there should be a plethora of new movies coming out, but not all of them are going to be good. But at least for now, we can anticipate them. So let's start it off. My 10 most anticipated movies of 2019. Let's walk and talk this one, shall we? So number 10, my 10 most anticipated movie for 2019 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, this is a movie that's going to be directed by Quentin Tarantino, and it's a movie that's going to cover the whole events of, or at least some portion of the events of the Charles Manson phenomena that was going on here with his murdering family that he created back in the late 60s, right about the time I was born, actually. So, yeah, I'm interested in this. Quentin Tarantino is great at making awesome movies about just very intense situations, and Charles Manson's pretty intense. So at number 10, anticipated movie, how about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Number 9. My number 9 most anticipated film of 2019 is going to be Toy Story. That's right, Toy Story 4. So the fourth edition of that, or fourth installment of that, will be coming out next year, or this year now. I gotta get used to saying 2019. It's like when you have the date checks, if you write them anymore, you have to make sure you put 2019 on there. Yeah, well, evidently here I gotta remember 2019. So number 9, 2019, Toy Story 4. Why am I anticipating this film? I liked Toy Story. I thought it was pretty good, and so now I kind of have to see what are they gonna do next. What possibly can they say after the first 3 installments of Toy Story? What can they talk about now? So that's why I'm going to watch that. The number 8 most anticipated movie for me will be Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, I grew up as a kid loving Godzilla, so there's no way that I'm not going to watch this film. I have to watch this. Besides, I got to watch and see, does this look like Godzilla? Did they do a good job? Is it going to be a man in a suit, or is it going to be CGI? Well, I guess we already know it's going to be CGI. Thank goodness, because the man in the suit was more slapstickish, if you will. But these days, I'm taking Godzilla a little bit more seriously because I'm taking CGI and its advancement a little bit more seriously. So, at number 8, it is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And number 7, my 7th most anticipated film for 2019 will be Captain Marvel. Not to be confused with Shazam, that Captain Marvel, which I think because of copyrights and all that stuff, they just switched to just straight up Shazam. But for me, Captain Marvel, I'm interested in. I used to read a little bit of the comics that had her in it, but I'm interested in her because she's kind of like Marvel's Wonder Woman, if you will. This is a very powerful superhero that's a female, and so I'm interested in seeing that. Plus, she was in the military. I come from a military family, so I think she is from Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel, is in the Air Force. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing that. And, yeah, there's always going to be at least 1 or 2 superhero movies on my list. You just got to know that. Although I don't really want to watch all of them, but I will watch most of them. All right, moving on. The number 6th movie that I'm anticipating that I really want to see this year is going to be a movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And that movie is called Glass. So I don't know if you guys saw Split last year that had McAvoy in it. You know, the guy who plays Professor X in the X-Men movies. The younger version, I guess. He's back. And so is Bruce Willis as David Dunn from Unbreakable, and also Nick Fury. Samuel Jackson will be back from the same movie that had featured Unbreakable, David Dunn, who was played by Bruce Willis. So let's get into the top 5 movies now. So now that brings us to the top 5 movies that I'm anticipating for 2019. And at number 5, that movie is The Lion King, animated. So we've seen the other Lion King, but this one is going to be a more fleshed out, technologically advanced version using some super high-end animation for it. And so, I mean, who's going to get tired of The Lion King? Not many of us. So why not? Another installment filmed and shot in a completely different way? Okay. I'll buy into that. So for me, number 5, Lion King. The number 4, or the 4th movie that I'm anticipating for 2019 that I have to see, that movie is The Joker, or I think in this case it's Joker. And so now we're going to get just a movie on what should be the storytelling of a maniacal man who takes a descent, who eventually becomes the Joker, and it's being played by Joaquin Phoenix. And of course, we know he's a good actor. He can bring bizarre. He can bring intensity. He can bring disturbed, right? Remember him in Gladiator? Okay, yeah, you do. And in many other films. Well, imagine that. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker? Yeah, that's must-see cinema right there. And the number 3 movie I'm anticipating, and I can't wait to see this year, is going to be the movie Us, created by Jordan Peele, other half of the Peele and Key comedy team. Remember, Peele last year did Get Out, which was a very interesting film, especially in the sense that it was somewhat horror, somewhat thriller, somewhat mystery, but definitely intriguing. And I think Us is definitely going to be intriguing. So what's Us about? It seems like there's this family, this African-American family, that's being haunted by them. Another version of them that's kind of stalking them. So, that's got juicy thriller, horror effects written all over it. So, yeah, Us. And the number 2 most anticipated movie by me this year that I really want to see is It. Chapter 2 is at number 2. So I don't know if you guys saw the Stephen King movie It last year, but they did such a great job with that film that now I'm kind of like, yeah, I want to see more. So why not? You have It, now you have It Chapter 2. Something tells me there'll be a Chapter 3. Yeah, Stephen King can't go wrong. It was done so well. So now I want to see, can they improve upon it, or can they at least keep it at the same level the first it was? Because if they can do that, that's a hit. And now, my number 1 most anticipated movie for 2019 is going to be Avengers Endgame. Come on, you guys knew it. So yeah, I have to see what happens. I mean, the Infinity War started it. You got rid of my man Black Panther. You got rid of Spider-Man. You got rid of a lot of superheroes. How you gonna fix that, G? I need to know how that's gonna end in the Endgame. So that's it. Number 1, Avengers Endgame. That's the movie I most want to see. Now, I'm sure there's going to be other movies that come out this year, but because there's no marketing on it, there's no commercials for it, there's not much known about it, that's probably why it's not on this list, because if I don't know about it, I can't put it on this list. But I'm pretty sure there'll be some Green Books and some Won't You Be My Neighbors that'll come out in 2019. It's just, I don't know much about them. And when I do, I'll make sure I review them so we can keep it tight. Anyway, it's your boy Vegabomber, and these are my most anticipated films. So what about you? Which films are you anticipating for 2019?